This is disturbing. Jonathan Banks says that he was very close to Anthony Joshua's corner. He was within earshot of Anthony Joshua's corner the night that he fought Andy Ruiz in Madison Square Garden. And he says he overheard AJ's trainer, Robert Mccracken, telling him to fight Andy Ruiz on the inside. Now, any of you who have been subscribed to my channel for at least, let's say, 18 months, 2 years, you will know that I've been calling for Anthony Joshua to sack Robert Mccracken for a very long time. Long before he lost to Andy Ruiz, I was calling for him to sack Robert Mccracken. And if what Jonathan Banks said here is true, and the only people who can know for sure, I mean, maybe you can go back and watch the fight and listen out and see if you can hear Robert Mccracken saying you should fight him on the inside and whatnot. I have no reason to doubt Jonathan Banks at the end of the day, but you never know. He could have misheard or something like that. He's not going to straight up lie, because what would his motivation be? Some people might say he probably wants to train AJ himself, and I'm sure he would love to train AJ himself, but AJ was in the corner. So if Jonathan Banks is lying, then AJ's going to know that he's lying. AJ's going to know that, my trainer never told me to fight Ruiz on the inside. So, maybe what Jonathan Banks is saying here is accurate, and that Robert Mccracken actually told Anthony Joshua, fight Ruiz on the inside, trade with him, which is absolute suicide. I don't care whether Mccracken told him this before the third round or after that third round. Obviously, it's worse if he told him it after that third round. And curiously, AJ kept trying to engage with Ruiz. He kept trying to trade with him even after that third round, which is just madness, right? But even if he told him it before the third round, if you'd watched Andy Ruiz fight, you would know that it was absolute stupidity to get your guy who's 6'6" to be exchanging with Ruiz up close. That's Ruiz's game. That's where Ruiz is dangerous. The man with the shorter arms, with the quicker hands, you don't start exchanging with him up close. That's madness. And if Robert Mccracken told him to do that, oh man. I mean, that right there is a nail in the coffin as far as I'm concerned. I am concerned that AJ is going to need another loss before he wakes up and smells the coffee and realizes that Robert Mccracken, although he's a good trainer, I'm not saying he's garbage, but he's not the guy, in my opinion, to get the most out of Anthony Joshua's physical potential. He's not the guy. There is no one-size-fits-all trainer. Even great trainers like Eddie Futch and Manny Stewart, they weren't the right fit for every fighter. Yeah? But from all I've seen of Anthony Joshua, tree is known by its fruits. And obviously, I watched Robert Mccracken when he was still fighting. I remember watching his fights. From all I've seen, Mccracken isn't improving AJ in certain areas, and there appears to be a conflict in terms of what AJ should be doing technique-wise within that team. There's also the fact that AJ only has one boxing person in his whole camp, which is Mccracken. I mean, that's madness. Why have you only got one boxing person? He says that, well, he's succeeded. He's done well so far, only having one boxing man in his camp. So why change it? Well, perhaps you haven't had all the success because you've only got one boxing man in your camp. Maybe you've had all the success despite only having one boxing man in your camp. Maybe you'd be even better than you are if you had more than one boxing man in your camp. It's depends how you look at it. So I agree with people like Spencer Fearon who say AJ needs more boxing minds around him. Just having Mccracken alone, no. Mccracken is not Yoda. He's not the fountain of all knowledge when it comes to boxing. Yeah, he's a knowledgeable guy. He's been around, Team GB, trained Carl Froch, was a professional himself, fought in world title fights and all that, yeah. But there are plenty of other trainers out there with similar experience. Jonathan Banks was a Kronk fighter, trained Vladimir Klitschko. Now he's training Gennady Golovkin. He could be an interesting choice for Anthony Joshua as a trainer. You know, you got other trainers out there, Shadid Saluki. You know, you got James Ali Bashir. You got, just countless trainers out there. Virgil Harmon, just loads and loads of different trainers you could choose from who, in my view, would be able to bring something different to Anthony Joshua, show him a different look, different ways of training, different boxing philosophies, more experience with regards to fighters of his particular physical dimensions, more experience with regards to heavyweights, more experience with regards to training somebody with his physical abilities, you know? So, yeah, to me, this is a damning indictment of Robert Mccracken if it's accurate, what Jonathan Banks is saying here. And again, I'm sure some people are going to say Jonathan Banks is just looking for that AJ gig himself, as he might, right? Because it's the best paying position as a trainer in the heavyweight division if you're training Anthony Joshua. So, you know, perfectly understandable for Banks and so many other people to be looking for that job. But I personally think that there are trainers out there who could take Anthony Joshua to the next level, technically, and just in terms of making the most out of his ability. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. It's happening. I'm out.